everybody. This is Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and we're doing the weekly challenge. And today it is tea. So I'm going to draw my 2 prompts, see what that entails. Okay. Cut out a flower and add it. All right. I can do that. And use only black and white today. Okay. I'm going to throw that one out. So that's my 2 that I get to throw away. Oh boy. So, see what this next one is. Use black dots as a pattern. Okay, I can do that. Okay, so those are my 2 prompts for this week. So I'm going to turn my page over from last week and gesso it and, whoops, other way, gesso it and cut this out. And also, we've got the other page, I just remembered, we have this piece. So, all right, I'm going to cut out and I will be back. Okay, well, I feel like we don't have a lot of space with this if we use these pieces, but I want to use this one. I think it's pretty. And it was old. It came from, I forgot now what the date was, or 18 something. It's up here on the stamp. And so I'm going to go ahead and glue this on and then work around it. So probably just a floral border is what I'm thinking. And glue everything on. Hopefully there's room, but it's going to be mainly getting all this information on here. The 10 Commandments is quite a bit of writing. I wonder if I think I'll just use, I think I'm just going to use my glitter glue and glue this on here. I used a piece of scrap paper to print on it, so don't just ignore this. Just ignore all this. This was a outtake that I reprinted on. Oh, before I forget it, you know, I've been telling people that you can get cheap matte photo paper on at Walmart, and so when I went this last time, they were completely out of it, and I looked online and looked all over, and they did have some online, but so I thought, well, let me just double check. Well, out on Amazon, oh, what is the brand? They had the old photo paper that I used to use for $5.99 for 50 sheets. And so if you're looking for photo paper, that was way cheaper than what even Walmart was selling theirs for. And it used to be $4.99, now it's $5.99, but it was $18.99 when I looked for it a while back. So look for matte photo paper on Amazon if you're going to buy some before, and just look at all the prices, because the prices are varying, very wide variation. So just want to make sure I said that, because I had told so many people to look at Walmart. I didn't want to mislead you. It's kind of crazy. There's, you know, what is it they're all saying? Supply chain problems, blah, blah, blah. So, okay. Canon. That's the brand, Canon. It's in a red package. Okay, so I think that I'm going to get my watercolor paints and just do some flowers. So let me get some water going here. I think I'll pour some water on these little trays that come with my I use my coffee creamer. These coffee creamer containers are so nice. So I when I run out of some, I fill it with water and bring it upstairs. Works out really well. So okay. And then I am going to stop with that. I'm going to glue the two prompts on. Ooh, what were the prompts? I forgot the prompts. Uh-oh. Use black dots as a pattern. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, well, let me go get it. I'm going to get a template. I mean, a stencil. Hold on. No, you know what I think I'll do? I'm going to take one of these old, it's a makeup sponge that I've used ink with before. I'm going to use my archival black ink and see if I can get this to go through here. I don't know. We'll see how this works out. All right, well, it just kind of filled in the white areas and just kind of made it look more like a pattern background, I think. So that is okay with me. I didn't ruin it, so that's the main thing. Okay, so there's that. And then the small one, I was going to use that for my tea. I guess I still could. Now what I was going to do is cut 10 little pockets and fold these up and put them in. I don't know if that will work or not. And I got to glue a flower on, so there's that. So I don't know if this will work or not. This is just an idea I had. So I don't know. I don't know if there's enough room. Okay, so here's where we are. I'm guilty of doing ready, fire, aim. That's kind of my ongoing problem in life. And so I jumped into this and tried to do some pockets, and they didn't work. So I tore them off, and so now I've got this on the page. So I've been thinking about it, and I think that I'm going to come up with plan B. I still want to do pockets, but I think I'm going to do it out of fabric and just do 10 pockets on the fabric and then put that on the page. So I am going to pick out a fabric. Okay, so I was looking through my fabric and trying to think, what does Ten Commandment fabric look like? I found this piece that I pressed some flowers between a couple of pieces of fabric and just got some light coloration, but I like it a lot, so I think I'm going to use that. I think I'm going to cut a piece the whole size and then maybe just do a cutout for 10 Commandments and then do pockets on top of that. So that's my latest plan. All right, so I'm going to take this piece as the base. And then cut a window out for 10 Commandments. So I'm going to take a pencil and mark where that needs to be. So it looks like that. I'm going to cut that window out. And then I'm going to use thread and do a blanket stitch, I think, around the edge of that. Let me start on that. And then I need to also cut out for the T. Okay, so I'm coming back. I went ahead and did this much without the camera on, just because it was going to take a little bit of time. And so I'm making a cover, basically, for my mistakes. So I just did the little blanket stitch around these little holes. And then I thought I would do a little bit just to show you in case you don't know what the blanket stitch is, super simple. You just kind of go inside this is embroidery thread, of course. And you just keep the thread. You just pull it inside like that. Make a circle, put your needle in, and put it on the front side of that loop, and then pull it, but not too tight, and it's the blanket stitch, or at least that's the name I call it. I've been reading a book that I was going to mention. It's so good. I bought a pillow. I bought a MyPillow pillow, and we've bought other things from him before. We really like Mike Lindell and how he stands up for the Christian faith and everything. And so he sent us a book for free. I didn't order it. And so it laid there for a while, and I thought, well, you know, how some of those books are sometimes. They're not very interesting, or they're poorly written, or I don't know. I just didn't have much confidence in it. So finally one day I thought, well, let me see. Let me just give it a shot. So I started reading it, and it was very interesting. And he has led quite a life and has quite a testimony. So if you get the chance, I do recommend his book. The first part of it, he goes into a lot of his addiction stories. So, you know, that was painful to read, but it's just so interesting. He has had quite an interesting life. And on towards the end, more and more, he starts to talk about how the Lord intervened in his life and what happened. And he had a lot of really big miracles happen. And so definitely a good book, good to read. I think the name of it is What Are the Odds? I think that's the name of it. But anyway, so finally, my husband doesn't like to read. So when I have a book that I like a lot, I'll say, hey, let me read it to you. And he'll let me read it to him. So I did read most of this one to him. After I got through the first third of it, and then I'm like, okay, I got to read this to Johnny. And so he did, and he liked it. There's a lot of really funny things in it. So we had a good laugh over some of the stuff in it. And it was good to read because I had bought a pillow from them before, and I didn't like it. It was too, well, for one thing, it was too full. I got the wrong filling. So this time I ordered the least amount of filling. And then after reading the book and what he said about the pillow, I realized that how it works, and that it's made to like interlock, the foam interlocks and shapes, and it's supposed to hold your head up when other pillows sink down. So now that I understand that, I can operate my pillow a little bit better. So, sounds like I got a visitor up here. Peyton snuck up. I have a gate on my steps that come up to this room, and Peyton is small enough that he can squeeze through the bars. So he likes to come up here. I think he enjoys the fact that he can come up when the other dogs can't. I guess he found out what he needed to find out, so now he's going to go back downstairs. All right, so that is that. And I am just going to glue this with Fabri-Tac over the top of this. Just cover up what I did. Now, I could have scrapped over that, or, I mean, there's any number of things you could do. You know, it's like junk journaling. It's never done until, I mean, you can change it and fix it and do whatever needs to be done. So I can get this Fabri-Tac on here properly and without too much fuss and muss. That'll be awesome. I'm going to try and not put, I don't want it to soak through if I can help it. So let's put this little jacket on. Okay, so there is that. Now I tore a couple pieces for pockets. I still have to sew those on. And I'm still not sure this is going to work 100%, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm going to stitch this as well. I could just glue it, but I think it'll look cuter if I take the time to stitch it on. All right, let me try that. Okay, I'm back and finishing up stitching these pockets on. So I stitched each one in the middle, and then I stitched a long one across the bottom, and just a straight stitch is what I'm doing. The glue came loose, which is probably a good thing because that let me get underneath underneath here and stitch it, and then I'll just glue it back here in a minute when I finish. Okay, now I've gone to quite a bit of work to stitch this, and I do not know if it will work. I think it will, but we'll find out here in a minute. I'm kind of glad I did this on this one, though, because the other journal has a cloth page, but this one didn't have one, so now they each have a cloth page, so with some stitching, so that worked out. All right, so that completes that, and I'll glue it down, and then we'll find out if, if this was a complete waste of time. Okay. All right, back to the Fabri-Tac. I think that Fabri-Tac would have worked if I hadn't been pulling at it. Okay, so let's find out if this is going to work or not. So here's 2. Here's 10. Okay. Here's 1. And I kind of cut them apart because I thought I was going to glue them on. So there's 1. And where did 2 go? It was the big, it was the, there it is, biggest one. Okay. So there's that one. All right. Check that box. Okay, so that is it for this week. I've got this one that I did the other day, or yesterday. Seems like a long time ago. And you know what I did not do is it says cut out a flower and add it. So let me see. I wonder if I could paint one real quick and cut it out. I'm just going to take a sheet of cardstock and get my watercolors out. All right, cut out a flower, it said, and glue it on. So let me see if I just glue that like that. Hopefully that doesn't interfere with any of the pockets. I don't think it will. All right. All right, so there is the cutout flower to make sure I did my prompts. And that is it. You guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.